Once upon a time, ambitious megaprojects aimed to change the world with their magnificence and innovation. But like towering castles built on sand, all of these projects were abandoned before completion. Some leaving behind empty structures as haunting reminders of what could have been. Like the rusted skeletons of abandoned ships, these projects represent the hubris of those who dared to dream big without the proper foundation. Like forgotten monuments to human ambition, these mega-projects remind us that not every grand plan will come to fruition and that even the mightiest endeavors can crumble to dust. Number 1. Arcade Railway in New York, USA. Imagine you found this crazy abandoned arcade railway in upstate New York. Rumor has it this was part of some insane mega-project in the 80s to build an indoor amusement park. But the funding dried up and it was never completed. You hike deep into the woods until you come across this enormous concrete structure. It must have been meant to be the entrance to the park. As you explore inside, you can't help but open your eyes widely. The framework for what would have been massive arcade halls is still there, along with old railway tracks that lead into darkness. You grab your flashlight and follow the tracks into the tunnel. The echo of your footsteps mixes with scurrying rats. You see strange graffiti covering the walls. Some of it was recent. After walking for a while, you come across the first arcade hall. You see substantial concrete columns rise to a ceiling that was never finished. Some old arcade cabinets are still standing there, covered in dust. It's surreal, like stepping into a frozen moment from decades ago. You walk through the massive empty halls and have a haunting feeling. Heading back out, you wonder who came up with this crazy vision and how far they got before running out of money and abandoning the whole project. The Arcade Railway is an unfinished monument doomed by unrealistic hopes and dreams. Number 2. The Volkshake, Hitler's plan to build the largest dome in the world. In the heat of the German countryside lies an abandoned structure, a haunting reminder of the country's dark past. The towering concrete was once the centerpiece of Adolf Hitler's ambitious plan to create a glorious parade ground in Nuremberg, symbolizing his twisted vision of a new Germany. As you approach the dome, you can't help but be struck by its imposing size. Like a colloidal monolith rising from the earth, the concrete was weathered and stained, with cracks spider webbing across its surface like veins of a dying beast. It looms over the landscape like a hulking sentinel, a relic of a bygone era that still casts a shadow over the present. Inside the dome, the air is heavy and oppressive, the only light coming from a few narrow slits in the ceiling. It's as if you have entered a forgotten cathedral dedicated to the darkest gods. The dome is a reminder of the madness that once gripped Germany, a monument to the horrors committed in the name of a deranged ideology. As you move away from the dome, you can't help but feel a chill run down your spine. You get a sense that the ghost of the past still lingers in a lonely place. Are you happy that this project was never completed? Let us know your answer in the comments section below. Remember to subscribe and like the video. Number 3. The Chicago Spire. A young architect named Charles had just moved to Chicago to pursue his dream of designing buildings. One day, while walking through the town, Charles saw a magnificent unfinished building with a distinctive design that stood out among the skyscrapers. He instantly became curious and wanted to learn why the construction of the building was never finished. Charles asked around and learned that the building is Chicago Spire, a proposed tower that was supposed to be built years ago, but was abandoned due to financial problems. One day, Charles will have the capability to finish the skyscraper. The Chicago Spire was a proposed 2,000-foot-tall skyscraper. Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, who has also designed other impressive projects such as the World Trade Center, created the Chicago Spire. The plan was to build it in Chicago's Streeterville neighborhood and become the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. The Chicago Spire was proposed in 2005 and was taken by Garrett Kelleher of the Shelburne, risen 610 meters in the Chicago skyline. With great enthusiasm, the project started in 2007. Due to the slender design, the project had to be very deep. However, just as the foundations were completed, the progress was halted. In 2008, the country was hit by a recession, which affected everyone financially. The financiers of the project were struggling for survival. Therefore, investment was not available to continue the project. The construction was halted as the company doing the building became bankrupt. Since then, the incredible project to change the Chicago skyline has only left a hole in the ground. Number 4. The sphere version of the pyramids of Giza. Let's return to the 18th century and see an insane mega project never built in France. The project is believed to have been dedicated to scientist Sir Isaac Newton. French architect Etienne Louis Boulle proposed the 150-meter cenotaph that would surpass the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid was the burial place for the Egyptian Emperor Khufu, while the cenotaph was a memorial for Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac was laid to rest at Westminster Abbey, London. Boulle wanted to build the world's first domed planetarium. He dotted the interior of his spherical creation with tiny holes, reflecting the positions of the constellations and the planets. Unfortunately, Boulle's project was not doable at that time. The cenotaph remained a fantastic idea that did not get built. Number 5. Dubai Creek Tower. The Dubai Creek Tower was supposed to be the world's tallest building when completed in 2009. It would have been an architectural marvel over 1,000 meters tall with 120 floors. Unfortunately, the tower halted in 2008 due to financial difficulties, and it has remained unfinished ever since, a skeletal remainder of Dubai's insane mega-project ambitions. The abandoned tower rises like a grave marker on the skyline, a haunting symbol of the financial crisis that brought development to a scratching halt. Its unfinished floors stretch high into the sky, a concrete forest of columns and grinders. An eerie silence hangs over the site, disturbed only by the call of seagulls circling the tower. The Dubai government had grand dreams for this building. It was meant to house hotels, residences, commercial spaces, and even a revolving restaurant at the top with stunning city views. Now, Dubai Creek stands as a monument to excess and unrealistic growth targets. The sheer scale of the unfinished structure is breathtaking and sobering all at once. Many see it as a metaphor for Dubai itself, a glittering city of skyscrapers and excess built on shaky financial foundations. The tower's skeletal remains stand as a reminder of the dangers of reckless development and unchecked ambition. Yet Dubai continues to grow even taller, raising new record-breaking buildings that obscure the relic of the past. Abandoned mega-projects are good examples of humanity's delusions of grandeur. Imagine if these insane visions had come to fruition. How different might our world be today? These remnants of unrealized futures remind us of humanity's capacity for grand illusion and our habit of mistaking ambition for wisdom. They are monuments to hopes and dreams abandoned along the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, and comment on your favorite project you would have liked to see completed.